All right. 7.2 compound angle formulas. So a compound angle is an angle that is created by adding or subtracting two or more angles. Okay, that's what its compound angle is. Let's say 75 can be written as 30 degree plus 45 degree. Okay, so 35 is a combination of these two angles. Okay, so what is the purpose of this whole idea and the formulas? Let's say you want to find cosine ratio of 15 degree. Yes, you could do it using your calculator, right? So cosine 15. Yes, you definitely have an answer here. But it is a decimal value, right? This is not an exact answer. But when you use your calculator, you don't get an exact answer. But actually, if we can write 15 with combination of two other special angles, then we can use our formulas from here and get the exact answer for cosine 15. That's what we will try to do now, okay? For example, so what are your special angles, first of all? Special angles. In terms of degrees, 30 degree, 45, and 60. Okay. So can you add or subtract those angles to get 15? So for example, you can do 45 minus 30. So that would give you 15. Or 60 minus 45. That would give you 15 degrees. Okay. And actually, if we can write, an angle, addition of two other angles or subtraction, then we can use these formulas to get the exact value. Let's say we want to write cosine 15 as cosine 45 degree minus 30 degrees. Okay. Now we have subtraction of two angles, so we can go and find. So when you look at these angles, okay, these formulas, we have, for example, sine x plus y. Then the formula for the sine x plus y plus cos x sine y. Or you have sine x minus y. So then this is the formula. We have cos x plus y, that is cos x cos y minus sine x sine y. We have cos x minus y, and same thing with the tangent. Tangent x plus y and tangent x minus y. So now we wrote 15 as difference of two angles. Then we can use cos x minus y formula. So in this case, your x is 45, your y is 30 degrees. Okay, so if we use this formula here, cos x cos y, so cos 45 times cos 30 and plus, right, sine x sine y. Sine 45 times sine 30. Now actually we can calculate this. So cosine 45 is 1 over root 2, or if you rationalize denominator, you get root 2 over 2. And cosine 30 is root 3 over 2. Sine 45 is root 2 over 2. And sine 30 is 1 over 2. So you get root 6 over 4 plus root 2 over 4. If you have if you collect these, so you get root 6 plus root 2 over 4. Now, as you see, we got the exact value for cosine 15. Okay, and let's look at the next one. Sine pi over 12. again, you want to write pi over 12 as a combination of, two of these angles, special angles. But this is given to you in radians. So there is two methods of doing it. First, you can convert this radian angle to degrees, and you can think of in terms of degrees, what two angles would give me pi over 12. Or I will show you also the other method. So these are your special angles, but in terms of radians, they are pi over 6, pi over 4, and pi over 3. We can write those three angles having the same denominator. So that would be, 6, 4, 3, that would be 12. We have 2 pi over 12, 3 pi over 12, and 4 pi over 12. Actually now, you can find, for example, pi over 12 is a combination of these two, right? So you can see it easily. For example, 3 pi over 12 minus 2 pi over 12 would give you 1 pi over 12. Similarly, 4 pi over 12 minus 3 pi over 12 also would give you pi over 12. So you can now, if you do this, it's going to be much easier to see, what two angles you should use to get the given angle. Okay, for example, we say this is going to be 3 pi over 12 minus 2 pi over 12. Okay, so this is same as pi over 4 minus pi over 6. Now you're going to use your formula sheet, and you don't have to memorize these formulas. This formula sheet is, you can use it during even the evaluations. You don't have to memorize them. So now we are looking for sine x minus y. So x and y. Okay, sine x minus y is here. So sine x cos y minus cos x sine y. Okay, so sine x sine pi over 4 times cos y cos pi over 6 minus cos x, which is pi over 4, times sine y, sine pi over 6. So sine pi over 4 is root 2 over 2. Cos pi over 6 is root 3 over 2. Cos pi over 4, root 2 over 2. Sine pi over 6, 1 over 2. You get root 6 over 4 minus root 2 over 4. So this will give you root 6 minus root 2 over 4. The next question. Tangent negative 5 pi over 12. So if the angle is negative, it may be harder to think which two angles you need to combine to get negative 5 pi over 12, right? These are the angles we have. I'll show you a few methods, and I'm going to show you which one I prefer, and then we will go from there. For example, we can write this as tangent, 2 pi over 12 and 3 pi over 12. When you add them, you get positive 5 pi over 12. Maybe then you can do negative 2 pi over 12 plus negative 3 pi over 12. If you do this, then you are going to use this formula. Addition of two angles. So tan x plus tan y over 1 minus tan x times tan y. Okay? Or you may do this tangent negative 2 pi over 12 minus positive 3 pi over 12. If that is the case, then you are going to use tangent x minus y formula. But now your x is negative 2 pi over 12, your y is 3 pi over 12. But you should be getting the same answer at the end. But when you are doing this, as you see, you have to deal with the negative angles. Then you have to sketch where the location, you have to find the quadrant, and you have to find the sign of the ratio based on that. So instead, we can also do this, okay? So we can write an equivalent expression using the related acute angle. So if you sketch this negative 5 pi over 12, so if it was 6 pi over 12, that would be pi over 2, which is 90 degrees, but is less than that. So something like this. So that is negative 5 pi over 12. Okay. Then what is related acute? It is also here, but related acute are always positive angles. Okay. Then you want to write an equivalent expression here with positive 5 pi over 12. But now you need to decide if you need to put positive sign or negative sign here. So tangent 5 pi over 12, so that's an acute angle. So therefore tangent of it is positive. So tangent negative 5 pi over 12, we just sketched it. If you do cast, you see that tangent is negative in quadrant form. So this is negative, and I should put negative sign here to make them equal. Then this is what I will do. I will find tangent 5 pi over 12. And after that, at the end, I'm going to multiply that value by negative to get the answer for tangent negative 5 pi over 12. Okay, let's do that. So now you can see that 5 pi over 12 is 2 pi over 12 plus 3 pi over 12. So tangent 2 pi over 12 plus 3 pi over 12. Okay, so this gives you tangent pi over 6 plus pi over 4. Let's have the formula sheet here. So we are adding two angles here. So tangent x plus y formula. So tangent x, your x is now pi over 6, your y is pi over 4. Tangent pi over 6 plus tangent pi over 4 over 1 minus tangent pi over 6 times tangent pi over 4. Okay, tangent pi over 6 is 1 over root 3 or root 3 over 3, doesn't matter. Okay, so root 3 over 3 plus tangent pi over 4 is 1. Okay, 1 minus tangent pi over 6, again root 3 over 3, and tangent pi over 4 is 1. So if you have a common denominator for numerator and for denominator, so we get root 3 plus 3 over 3, which is root 3 plus 3 over 3. And here, if you have common denominator, you get 3 minus root 3. Oops, 3 over 3. Yeah. over 3. Okay, so here now we can actually simplify these 3 and 3. So you end up with root 3 plus 3 over 3 minus root 3. Okay, so next, as you know how to rationalize the denominator if you have something like this, right? Let's say you have 1 over root 3. You can rationalize this by multiplying top and bottom by root 3. So that would give you root 3 over 3. But now, as you see, we don't have a single radical, but we have a number beside it. There is another way of doing it, okay? So if you end up something like this in the denominator, and if you want to rationalize it, so you multiply top and bottom by the conjugate of the denominator. So what is conjugate? Let's say you have 1 minus root 3. The conjugate would be 1 plus root 3. Let's say you have root 5 plus 2. Conjugate would be root 5 minus 2. So basically, you are using exactly the same two numbers when you are writing the conjugate. Conjugate, okay. You use exactly the same numbers, but one with negative sign and one with positive sign. So having said that, what is the conjugate of 3 minus root 3? So that would be 3 plus root 3. Okay. So then we are going to do that. So we are going to multiply. Of course, you are trying to rationalize the denominator. So you are going to multiply the denominator by this, but to be able to keep the ratio as it is, whatever you do to the denominator, you have to do the same thing to the numerator. So you have to also multiply the numerator by the same number. So what is the purpose of this? Actually, if you multiply these two conjugates, okay, so you create, let's say you have 1 minus root 3 times 1 plus root 3. So you create difference of squares. Because if you remember, if you have x minus y, x plus y, so then you get x squared minus y squared. So we have the same thing here now. 1 minus root 3, 1 plus root 3, then this is going to be 1 square minus root 3 square. Okay, so then 1 minus 3, then you get negative 2. Okay. So as you see now, if you create this difference of squares, you get rid of the radicals. So you are able to now rationalize this denominator. Okay, having said that, let's look at the denominator then. First, you have 3 minus root 3, 3 plus root 3. 3 minus root 3, 3 plus root 3. So this will give you 3 squared minus root 3 squared, which is 9 minus 3, which is 6. Okay, so now you have 6 here. So let's look at the numerator. You have root 3 plus 3 times 3 plus root 3. These are the same thing. So we are basically squaring root 3 plus 3. Okay, you can either do a FOIL and multiply, each term, right, just like this. You know how to do FOIL. Or you can use a shortcut. So I'm going to use a shortcut to take the square of the first term, 3. Multiply first and second, multiply by 2. So you get 3 root 3 times 2, 6 root 3, plus square of 3, 9. This will give you 12 plus 6 root 3. 12 plus 6 root 3. So now we can see that, 12 and 6 root 3 and 6 all can be divided by 6. So now we need to simplify. So I'm going to factor 6 from the numerator. That will give us 2 plus root 3. Okay. And then finally, we are going to simplify these two, and we end up with 2 root 3. 2 plus root 3. But what we got here is for tangent 5 pi over 12. But we are looking for minus tangent 5 pi over 12. So we're going to take this and multiply by -1. So the answer is going to be -2 minus root 3. Okay, so let's look at the next one. So we have cosine 17 pi over 12. So it looks like we cannot really directly add these two, add two of these angles to get 17 pi over 12. Okay? So we are trying to get 17 pi over 12 using these special angles. It looks like it's not going to be possible. But don't forget, these special angles are acute special angles. But you have other special angles, right? You have multiples of them. Let's say pi over 3 is a special angle, but also 2 pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3. They're also special. 4 pi over 6 is a special angle, but also 5 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6, 11 pi over 6, also special angles. So multiples of those special angles you can use to create this. So that is one method. Okay. So for example, 14 pi over 12 plus 3 pi over 12. Okay. That is like 7 pi over 6, and that is pi over 4, which is fine. Or you can do, let's do one more example. Let's say 15 pi over 12 plus 2 pi over 12. So 15 pi over 12, if you divide both of them by 3, 5 pi over 4, and this one is pi over 6. So you can combine this way or that way. Okay, but usually it is harder to work with bigger angles. What can we do? Again, like the previous question, we can write acute expression using the related acute angle, like this one, and then use compound angle formulas. So that's what I'm going to do here. Okay, so sketch. We can sketch 17 pi over 12. This is 0. This is 12 pi over 12. That is 18 pi over 12. So 17 pi over 12 is somewhere here. Then the related acute, which is here, beta. Okay? So again, this is pi. So pi is 12 pi over 12. So difference is 5 pi over 12. So it looks like beta is 5 pi over 12. Then you want to write this with cosine 5 pi over 12. 5 pi over 12 is an acute angle. So cosine of it is going to be positive. Cosine 17 pi over 12. Now we sketch that angle. It is in the quadrant 3. And tangent is positive only when cosine and sine are negative in the third quadrant. So this is negative. So to make that equal, we put negative sign. Again, we are going to then find cosine 5 pi over 12. Then at the end, we're going to multiply it by negative. Okay, 5 pi over 12, we already know, right? So we used, even with the previous example, to cosine cosine 2 pi over 12 plus 3 pi over 12. Cosine pi over 6 plus pi over 4. Okay, now we can use our formula sheet. Cos x plus y. Cos x plus y. Cos x cos y minus sin x sin y. Your x is pi over 6, your y is pi over 4. So cos pi over 6 times cos pi over 4 minus sine pi over 6 times sine pi over 4. So cosine pi over 6 is root 3 over 2, cosine pi over 4, root 2 over 2, sine pi over 6, 1 over 2, sine pi over 4, root 2 over 2. So you get root 6 over 4 minus root 2 over 4. This gives you root 6 minus root 2 over 4. But we need to multiply this by negative sign to give an answer for the question. Okay, so if you multiply this by negative sign, you change the sign of root 6 and root 2. So negative root 6 plus root 2 over 4. Right. Now we're going to look at example 2. It says simplify each expression. We have sine x plus pi over 3 minus cosine x plus pi over 6. Okay. So now to be able to simplify, we can use compound angle formulas. The first one is x sine x plus pi over 3. So it looks like we can use sine x plus y formula. So let's do that. So sine x plus pi over 3. So sine x cos y, sine x cos pi over 3 plus cos x sine y. Cos x, that is your y, sine pi over 3. So this whole thing is now for sine x plus pi over 3. Now we are going to write it for cosine here, cosine x plus pi over 6. There's a negative sign, so we have to open a bracket here because we will have to distribute this negative sign inside later on. Okay, so make sure you have the bracket. So cosine x plus y formula we need to use, x plus pi over 6. Now your y is pi over 6. So cos x cos y, cos x cos pi over 6 minus sine x sine pi over 6. Sine x times cosine pi over 3 is 1 over 2 plus cos x times sine pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. minus, so at the same time now we are going to distribute the negative sign, cos x times cosine pi over 6 is root 3 over 2. And then this one is sine x times, we are distributing the negative sign, plus, yeah, sine x times 1 over 2. So you have 1 over 2 sine x plus root 3 over 2 cos x minus root 3 over 2 cos x plus 1 over 2 sine x. As you see, these two cos terms with the cos x disappear, right? So positive root 3 and negative root 3. So these two are gone. So you have now 1 over 2 sine x plus 1 over 2 sine x. That gives you sine x. Yes, therefore I ask you guys to print this from Brightspace. It is not photocopied by mistake. You can take the picture of it now, and then you can print it later. Okay, great. Okay, let's look at B. So we want to simplify this. Okay, but if you notice this time, instead of having the left side and writing the right side of the formula, this time actually they are giving you the right side of the formula, and you have to come up with the left side. Okay, so look, if you look, pay attention, so you have cos times cos minus sine times sine times sine. So which formula is matching with that, right? Cos, cos, sine, sine. There is this negative sign between them. This is sine, cos, cosine, sine, cos, cosine. Oh, here, right? So cos, cos, minus sine, sine. It looks like we can match this with this formula, cos x plus y formula. So I'm just gonna write the right side of the formula first, and then left side. Okay, so I'm going to just switch the sides of this formula here so that you can compare. Okay, cos x cos y minus sine x sine y. So if this was given to us, we would tell that this is cos x plus y, cos x plus y. But instead of having x and y, we have 3x and x. Okay. So what did we do on the right side? You're adding x and y. So now you're going to add 3x and x. This is going to give us 4x. Okay, so if you simplify this, then you get cos 4x. Last question. If cos x is negative 24 over 25 and angle x is in quadrant 2 and sine y equals negative 5 over 13 and angle y is in quadrant 3, we are going to evaluate cos x minus y and tangent x plus y. Okay, so A cos x minus y. So let's write the formula. Cos x cos y plus sine x sine y. Cos x cos y minus sine x sine y. No, plus. Okay, so what is given to us? Cos x negative 24 over 25. Cos y, we don't know that one yet, right? Cos y. But so sine x, Again, we don't know that. But sine y is negative 5 over 13. All right. So now it looks like we need to calculate cos y and sine x. So to do that, so let's sketch those angles. The angle x is in quadrant 2. That is angle x. Okay. Then let's remember for cos, we get it from x over r. So x coordinate over r. Then x coordinate is going to be negative 24 and r is going to be 25. Well, to be able to write sine x, I need to get y coordinate, right? So y over r because. Okay, let's do that, right? So to calculate that, you do square root of 25 minus square root of 24. Sorry, square root of 25 square, and it is bracket, 25 square minus 24 square. We are in cycle going there. So you get 7. Okay, so you get 7 here. So 7 over 25 is sine x. So now I can put this here, 7 over 25. Now we're going to find cosine y. Therefore, we are going to sketch angle y. Angle y is in quadrant 3. Sine y is y coordinate over r. So y is negative 5 and r is 13. Okay. So to be able to calculate cos y, we need to do x over r. X square root of 13 square minus 5 square. You get 12. This is negative 12. Negative 12 over 13 is cos y. Okay, so if we multiply these, we get 288 over 325, and then minus 35 over 325. If you subtract, you get 253 over 325. B, tangent x plus y. Tangent x plus tangent y. One minus tangent x tangent y. So then to do this calculation, we need to find tangent x, y over x, 7 over negative 24. So negative 7 over 24. Tangent y, negative 5 over negative 12, which is positive 5 over 12. So we get here negative 7 over 24 plus 5 over 12 over 1 minus negative 7 over 24 times 5 over 12. Have a common denominator here. Multiply this by 2. So you get 10 over 24. So 3 over 24 is in the numerator. And the denominator, you get 1 plus 35 over 288. So you end up with 323 over 288. So 3 over 24 is 1 over 8 times 288 over 323. 288 over 8 is 36. So you get 36 over 323.